Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me and if you can hear me and if everything is good, please do let me know that you're able to see me, there are no technical issues. Then we'll start today's stream. I think we have close to 30 people are watching the stream live. Please do like the stream guys, and please do subscribe to our channel. If you want to take part in today's test, please go to kraku.in/live. We'll be looking at topics which are important for XAT but are not covered in CAT. Those are the kind of quant topics that we are looking at today. So primarily we'll be looking at trigonometry, we'll be looking at coordinate geometry, and we'll be looking at probability. These three topics are not often asked in CAT, but they're very important as far as XAT is concerned. That is our plan. We'll be looking at 8 questions today. And like in every stream, instead of delving deep into the theory before the start of the session, what I try to do is once we look at a question and once we answer the question, if there is anything important which is related to that question, we'll do a summary before the explanation is given for that particular question. That is how I plan to take today's class. So please do like this stream guys. We have more than 40 people who are watching this stream live. I want to get to at least 100 likes before the stream is over. Do let me know if you guys have started taking mocks for XAT, because XAT is hardly a month away. It is very important for you to start taking good XAT mocks regularly. We have already done 2 streams on XAT. I would recommend you to go through both the streams if you haven't gone through them. One is on complete XAT revision, XAT Quant Revision, and the second one is on XAT decision making. DM is a very important topic for XAT, and we have done a very good stream on decision making. This will give you an idea about how to actually start your DM preparation. So if you haven't watched either one of the 2 streams, definitely go and watch them. They'll be available on our YouTube channel. If you are looking to take part in today's test, please go to kraku.in/live. The test will start in exactly another 2 minutes. Let me look at a few questions, and after that we'll start today's session. Rishikesh Tapadia is saying, sir, CAT percentile predictor is not updated since 5 days. We'll be updating it tomorrow. I've checked the normalization and scaling. There is some update with respect to the scaling, and we are looking at the percentile predictor also. We will probably update it tomorrow. Madhav Kabra is saying, is Kraku percentile prediction conservative or aggressive? Normally we try to make it as close to the expected percentile as possible. So it is not either conservative or aggressive, it is probably moderate. We have close to 100 people who are watching this stream live. Guys, please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 100 likes before the stream ends. Subhijit is saying, are you going to do some class about NMAT? Probably not. I'll probably do some stream on Snap, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Snap Quant is something that I think is very important, and the first Snap exam is coming up very soon. So probably I'll do a stream on Snap. I don't have any plan for NMAT. Saurav Mishra is saying, sir, ideally how much time should be devoted for each section during the XAT exam? I think Saili gave a very good answer for it. I think what she mentioned was that focus on clearing the cutoff, individual cutoffs, and after that focus on your area of strength to maximize your total score. That is probably what she has said. You can find some of her advices on our YouTube shorts. You should definitely check them out. Saili, who is the other co-founder, one of the 3 co-founders and the other faculty for Kraku, is the topper of XAT in the last 2 years. In both the last couple of years, she has come first in the country. So she knows how to do very well in XAT. So you should definitely check out what her tips she is giving. You can find them in the XAT shorts, in our YouTube shorts. Akash Parashar is saying, sir, getting 85 in CAT, chance in XAT. I think both of them are different exams. Whatever has happened, don't think too much about it. Even if you have done well in CAT or even if you have done poorly, that should not impact how you prepare for XAT. You should prepare for XAT like your life depended on it, and that is how you should use the remaining 30 days. Okay guys, let us start today's session. The first question will be on your screen. Bhavesh is saying, I have taken the crash course, but it is a little difficult to complete the daily task. Any guidance on the same? I would recommend you to try to at least cover if there are any backlogs that are building up, try to clear the backlogs over the weekend. That I think is something that I can tell you about. Secondly, if you feel that I'm not able to complete the entire daily tasks, I don't want to tell you to ease up on some of the tasks, but at least focus on your areas of weakness, because you should definitely clear the cutoffs and focus on whatever task is given, at least in decision making. That I think is the topic which is completely new for students of CAT. So definitely don't miss out on any of the decision making tasks or the videos. And then focus on clearing the backlogs over the weekend. Aman Singh is saying, have you challenged the LRDA question in slot 3? Yeah, I did apply. I raised an objection. Let us see how they respond to it. Geeta Anjali is saying, sir, slot 2 3 marks can it clear 55% cutoff? I could not do well in quant that day. It is very tough for me to guess that. The reason for that is because at the higher ends, at the extremes, I can give a much better, more accurate answer. But when it is in the middle, it is very difficult for me to say whether it will clear that cutoff or not. Let us hope for the best. But again, don't focus on whatever has happened. It is not in your hands right now to change your score. So focus on what is in your hands, which is preparation for XAT. Okay, the question I don't think has been posted, right? Or was the question posted? Okay, now the question is posted. Please do check it. Navanish is saying, sir, you are the only Arsenal fan I love listening to. CAT didn't go as per expectation, got 62 in slot 3, but focusing on that. That I think is a very nice attitude. Focusing on that, especially if you haven't done well in CAT, is very important. Having that calm and balance is important. Yeah, on the other statement, yeah, I am an Arsenal fan. I've been an Arsenal fan for the last, I think, around 20 years. So, yeah. Okay, let us look at this question. I think the time has run out. Let us try to answer this. In this question, we are told that 3 out of cosecant A, secant A and cot A, cotangent A, exactly 2 values are of the same sign. If it is known that A is less than 360 degrees, which of the following represents the range of values that A cannot take? Now, the easiest way to look at it is, because people are not intuitive about cosecant, secant and cot, we look at their inverses, we look at their reciprocals. What exactly is the value of cosecant A? Cosecant A is basically the reciprocal of sin A. This is equal to 1 by sin A. Similarly, secant A is equal to 1 by cos A. And cot A is equal to 1 by tan A. So the signs of these three, cosecant, secant and cot, are exactly the same as their reciprocals. If sin A is positive, cosecant A is positive. If sin A is negative, cosecant A is negative. If cos A is positive, secant A is positive. If cos A is negative, secant A is negative. Similarly, tan A and cot A are of the same sign. So let us basically look at sin A, cos A and tan A. 2 out of these 3 are of the same sign. We have to figure out the range of values that A cannot take. So let us divide, let us essentially draw the y-axis and the x-axis and divide the entire plane into 4 quadrants. In the first quadrant, sin is positive, cos is positive, and tan, which is basically the ratio of sin and cos, will also be positive. In the second quadrant, sin is positive, but cos is negative, and tan, which is the ratio, is positive divided by negative, will be negative. In the third quadrant, sin is negative, cos is negative, and tan, which is the ratio, is negative number divided by negative number, will be a positive number. In the fourth quadrant, sine is negative, cos is positive, and tan, which is the ratio of negative and positive, will be negative. If you see, exactly two of them are of the same sign in the second quadrant, in the third quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, all of them are positive, so that won't be true. So if you're looking at the range of values that A cannot take 0 less than or equal to 90 degrees. So the correct answer is option A. Let us look at the next question. Dinesh Nandakumar is saying, sir, I have scored 55 in CAT. Can I expect IIM Trichy? Yeah, I think I'll have to check. I'll have to basically also look at the sectionals. I'm not so sure, but probably I think you have a good chance. We have close to 100 people who are watching this stream live. Guys, please do like the stream. I have only 62 likes. I'm looking at least 100 likes before the stream is over. Geetanjali, yes, you can watch this video. It will help you for IFT Quant also. I think IFT Quant will be slightly on the easier side as compared to these questions, but it should definitely be helpful for you. 62 in slot 3, how much percentile? Anurag Mishra, you can submit your response sheet on our CAT score calculator. There you will immediately get the percentile, expected percentile. Tanvay Singh is saying, sir, I got 30.25 in Krakow free snap mock. Should I buy the crash course or just the mock series? That depends completely on you. Crash course is basically something that will give you fundamentals, that will teach you all the important concepts. You will get access to very good videos. So it is basically a comprehensive course. It is very useful for students who are very focused on doing well in the examination. Mocks, on the other hand, are for students who have already taken snap maybe once or twice earlier, and they are looking for good practice. They feel that their basics are clear, they don't have any doubts with respect to most of the concepts. They are looking for just good practice. That is what the mocks are for. Crash course is basically for students who probably haven't taken snap earlier and they are not comfortable with respect to what exactly is the syllabus, what are the important topics, what are not the important topics. They might not be super confident about their fundamentals. So for them, crash course is good. So based on your situation, if you have taken snap earlier multiple times, then probably you can just go with the snap mocks, especially if you are clear with the concepts. If you are not so confident about your concepts, if you probably haven't taken snap earlier, then you should definitely check out the crash course. Okay, let us look at this question. We need to find a point on the x-axis which is equidistant from minus 9,6 and 9, minus 2. Any point on the x-axis is of the form a, 0. Now this point a, 0 is equidistant from minus 9,6 and 9, minus 12. The distance of a, 0 from minus 9, 6, the square of the distance will be a plus 9 whole square plus 6 minus 0 whole square, which is 6 square. This is equal to a minus 9 whole square, because that is the square of the distance between a, 0 and 9, minus 12, which is a minus 9 whole square plus 12 square. This is a square plus 18a plus 81 plus 36 is equal to a square minus 18a plus 81 plus 144. You can cancel 81 on both sides. You can cancel a square on both sides. You will be left with 36a is equal to 108, or the value of a is equal to 3. So the point is 3, 0, which is option D. Let us look at the next question. Nehal is saying, I'm new here, how to give the answer? You should go to krakow.in/live. There you can actually submit the answer. Raj Panchal is saying, sir, I'm pretty much confident in quant, but I'm not in terms of VA. I know the concept, but I'm not able to eliminate the options. Any guidance on what I should do? One thing that you should do is, if you're able to eliminate 2 options, you should first realize that you're progressing. That is a big step from actually not being able to figure out what is the... Just a minute. Yeah, if you're able to eliminate two options, then at least you made some progress with respect to a beginner. A beginner probably will look at all the options and think each one of them is correct. If you're able to eliminate two options, you have made decent progress. Now, for you to make that final step, you should essentially take more and more mocks. That is something that has helped me. Once I realized that I'm able to easily at least rule out the wrong options, at least some of the wrong options, I used to feel confident. I used to feel that I'm definitely improving. And when I'm taking more and more mocks, I was able to identify which of the two options that I'm able to eliminate is actually correct. And one of the tricks that I use normally, if I'm able to eliminate two options, and if I have to choose between two final options, is trying to identify what is the difference between the two options. In most cases, the two last options look very similar, except the kind of usage of words. This is an example that I often quote. If you're, for example, told that there is one person called Raj who is one of the toppers in a class, that is the information that is given in a passage. And the two options say that Raj is the topper of the class, and the second one says that Raj is one of the toppers of the class. Now, if you look at both the options, if you're looking at it quickly, because you don't remember exactly what is given in the passage, you just have a vague idea about what is given in the passage. You know that he's a good student. You just don't remember immediately whether he's the best student or not. Now, if you shortlist both of these options, because both of them seem to be correct, and if you try to identify the difference between them, one of them says he's the topper and the other one says he's one of the toppers. Then you immediately figure out, you can go back and check the passage and cross check, and you will figure out that one of the options is actually wrong, even though it is very close to being the correct option. But because of the usage of the words and trying to figure out the difference between the last two options, you will be able to improve your accuracy. Anyway, let us look at this question. Find out the total number of straight lines that can be drawn through the four following points. 3, 2, let us assume that A is 3, 2, B is -3, -4, C is 11, 10, and D is -2, -1. We know that if you are given 2 points P, which is say x1, y1, and Q, which is x2, y2, we can easily identify the slope of this line which is connecting P and Q. The slope is given by the formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. In this particular case, let us look at the slopes of all the 6 lines, and if the slope is different, then we know that none of these points are collinear. But if the slopes of any lines are the same, then we'll have to figure out if the lines are parallel or if they are actually identical lines. Are they basically representing the same line? To identify that, or essentially trying to identify how many of these 4 points are collinear, that is how many of them lie on a straight line, we need to figure out the slopes of all of these lines. So the slope of AB using this formula will be 2 minus -4, which is 6, divided by 3 minus -3, which is 6, which is equal to 1. The slope of AC is equal to 10 minus 2, which is 8, divided by 11 minus 3. So this also equal to 1. So both of them are actually, the slopes are the same, and there is a common point A. So this would imply that both the lines are essentially the same line. We'll first look at all the slopes, then we'll try to get a sense. If you're looking at AD, the slope of this line is equal to 2 minus -1, which is 3, divided by 3 minus -2, which is equal to 5. If you're looking at the slope of BC, this is -4 minus 10, which is -14, divided by -3 minus 11, which is again equal to -14. This is also equal to 1. So the slopes of these 3 lines are the same. We can easily identify that they are actually the same line. What is the slope of BD? The slope of BD is -4 minus 1, which is 3, divided by -3 minus 2, -3 divided by -1, which is equal to 1. Sorry, this is equal to 3. Last line is CD. The slope of CD will be 10 minus -1, which is 11, divided by 11 minus -2, which is 13. Now if you identify, there are only 3 lines, the slopes of which are the same. So you will have you will have a point A over here, you will have a point B over here, and you will have a point C over here. These 3 are collinear. The slope is actually equal to 1, and the remaining 3 are not collinear. You have AD, the slope is 3 by 5. So roughly it will be somewhere over here. Need not be true, but somewhere like this. The slope of BD is 3. So it looks something like this, something like this. and the slope of CD is 11 by 13. Again, it looks like this. What essentially we are saying is that D is not collinear with ABC. So the total number of lines will be one line CD, one line BD, one line AD, and this one line on which A, B and C lie. So the total number of lines are 4 lines. Let us look at the next question. Stuart is saying, hi, All India CAT topper, sir. I don't think I'm the topper. I think I've done well, but I don't think I'm the topper. Some person is asking what to do, what is the best way to prepare in the last 30 days. If you haven't taken XAT earlier, if this is the first time you're taking XAT, I would definitely recommend you to enroll to the XAT crash course. This course is taken by thousands of students. You have to just go to cracku.in/XAT crash course, and every single day we'll be giving a list of tasks. And the only thing that we require you to do is finish those tasks. It will take some time. Every day we require you to put in at least 5 to 6 hours because we have only 1 hour left, 1 month left. But if you're able to put in that effort and finish the tasks that are given to you, you will cover the entire syllabus, and on the day of the examination you will feel very confident. You know that you have put in a lot of effort and you have covered all the important topics. So definitely do check out the XAT crash course. This course is completely taught and designed by Saili, who is the topper of XAT in the last couple of years. So this is a very good course. You should definitely check it out. If you go to the page, you will find the schedule like this. On day 1, you will be given the course overview. On the second day, you will be given decision making, an interaction video on decision making. On the third one, we have ethical dilemma, again based on decision making, which is a very important topic in XAT. And probably you'll also get some DA basics. So every day, essentially, you'll have a video, you'll have a list of tests, you'll have a list of things that you have to do to complete the entire syllabus. Anyway, let us come back and let us look at this question. In this question, we are told that the locus of the point P such that a point Q which lies on the circle x square plus y square is equal to 36 divides A, which is 1, 2 and P in the ratio 2:3 internally. We are required to calculate the locus of the point P. Before we come to P, let us assume that the coordinates of P are x and y, and A is 1, 2. So we have A which is 1, 2. Suppose this is how A is and this is how P is. This is A which is 1, 2. This is P which is x, y, and we have Q which is over here. Let the coordinates of Q be like say A, B, small a, small b. We are told that this point Q lies on the circle x square plus y square is equal to 36. So this would imply that small a square plus small b square is equal to 36. We are also told that Q divides A and P in the ratio 2:3. So we can figure out the coordinates of A in terms of x and y. Coordinates of Q. How can we do that? Because if you have a line segment like this, which is x1, y1 is one end and x2, y2 which is the other end, the coordinates of the point which divides this in the ratio m:n, this point over here, is equal to mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n, comma my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n. That is the coordinates of the points which divides this line segment in the ratio m:n. Or in this particular case, the coordinates of Q, that is the value of A, is equal to 3 plus 2x divided by 5, which is 3 plus 2, and the value of B is equal to 3 into 2, that is 6, plus 2y divided by 5. What do we know about a and b? We know that a square plus b square is equal to 36. So 2x plus 3 whole square divided by 5 square, which is 25, plus 2y plus 6 whole square divided by 5 square, which is 25, is equal to 36. If you divide the entire equation with 25 to remove the denominator and expand the squares, we are going to get 4x square plus 12x plus 9 plus 4y square plus 24y plus 36 is equal to 36 into 25, which is equal to 900. Or the value of 4x square plus 12x plus 4y square plus 24y is equal to 855. That will be the answer, which is option C. Let us now look at the next question. Guys, we have more than 90 people who are watching this stream live. Please do like the stream, guys. I want to get to at least 100, 150 likes before the stream ends. So Hardeep Sarkar is saying, how can we prepare for both XAT and SNAP altogether? Both have different strategies. That is true. It depends on your date for SNAP. That is A. B, I would want you to take at least a couple of mocks for SNAP before the examination if you are taking the first session of SNAP, and then you have to plan it out. Normally what I believe is if your concepts are good, the only difference between SNAP and XAT is the speed. SNAP questions will be easier and you will be able to answer them if your concepts are good. Kaustav Kundu is saying, sir, when we have already identified AB, AC and AD in that question, do we need to identify BC, BD and all? Not needed, I agree with that. But in general, I feel if you identify the slopes, it becomes a lot more intuitive. That is the reason I do it, because then even though it wastes a little time, it will cut down your chances of committing any silly mistake. Because then you know you have a good mental idea about how the lines are, how the points are. All of that will be much clearer. So that is the reason I do it. In this question, we are told that we are given the coordinates of 4 friends. We are given the initial coordinates of Ajay. This is 15, 10. We are given the coordinates of Vijay. This is 12, 14. Then we are given the coordinates of Alay. This is 7, -8. And we are given the coordinates of Vinay. This is 18, -7. Every day their x coordinate is halved and their y coordinate is doubled, and we are required to figure out which of the friends will be the closest after an year. Once you are given an year, that is 365 times this cycle is repeated, you should immediately identify that there will definitely be some pattern involved. If there is no pattern, you are not required to essentially calculate their positions at the end of an year, that is repeat this 365 times, calculate the lengths separating each of the friends. That is not how these kind of questions are asked. If you're looking at what the pattern will be, the x coordinate keeps getting halved every day, and this is halved 365 times, or essentially all of these guys, the x coordinate will become very close to 0, and if you are essentially trying to identify the distance between them, you can assume that all of them lie on the y coordinate. You can assume that this is where Ajay will be, this is where Vinay will be, who has the highest y coordinate, which is 14. Second will be Ajay, who will be over here, who is 10. Then you will have Alay over here, sorry, you will have Vinay over here, who is, this is Vijay. You have Vinay and you have Alay over here. The y coordinate is doubling. but it is doubling for every one of them, and it doubles 365 times. So the y coordinate of Vijay at the end will become 14 into 2 to the power 365. The y coordinate for Ajay becomes 10 into 2 to the power 365. The y coordinate for Vinay becomes minus 7 into 2 to the power 365. And the y coordinate for Alay is minus 8 into 2 to the power 365. Because 2 to the power 365 is common for all of them, if you are trying to identify which of the two guys is closest, that answer will be Vinay and Alay, because they were the closest at the start, and the distance between both of them keeps on doubling every day, but that is true for each of the pairs, and they were closest at the start, so they will be closest at the end of the year. So the answer will be Vinay and Alay, which is option C. Let us look at the next question. Sonal Sharma is saying, why don't you provide videos solutions for IFT and SNAP past year papers? Unlike CAT on the Krakow website, I'll try to figure it out. It just involves more work, so we didn't have time to do it. But if you are looking for any specific questions answers, you can always ask us below that question and I'll try to answer it. Ankit is saying quant questions of XAT are very interesting to solve. That is true. In my opinion, quant questions in XAT are definitely slightly on the more tougher side as compared to CAT. So they will be a little more challenging and also interesting. Sabyasachi, you can, after the video, after the lecture is over, you can go back and look at the solution again, and if you are facing any issue at that time, you can mention it below the video. I'll look at all the comments and I'll try to answer it. Yes, Sahil Gupta, IITs are very good institutes for doing your MBA. In this question, we are told that 0 is less than x is less than 10 and 0 is less than y is less than 10. We are required to calculate the probability that x is greater than y and x plus y is greater than 16. Let us first try to identify what is the region of 0 is less than x is less than 10 and 0 is less than y is less than 10. If you are drawing the x-axis and the y-axis, which looks like this, 0 is less than x is less than 10 and 0 is less than y is less than 10 will be a square in the first quadrant. It will be something like this. And if you are looking at the region which says that x plus y is greater than 16, if you are first trying to identify x plus y is equal to 16, that will be a line which will be something like this. This is basically the line x plus y is equal to 16. All the points to the right of this line over here represent x plus y is greater than 16, and all the lines to the left over here will be x plus y is less than 16. Here we are looking for x plus y is greater than 16, so that will be this triangle. But we are also looking for x should be greater than y. For x to be greater than y, let us again draw x is equal to y. That will be this line, which is x is equal to y, and all the elements or all the points which are below this line represent x is greater than y, and all the points which are above this line represent x is less than y. So if you are looking for x is greater than y, x plus y is greater than 16, and within this square where x and y lie between 0 and 10, that is essentially this area. We are required to calculate the area of this region. How can you calculate the area of this region? The easiest way to calculate the area of this region is to identify these points. If this is point A, if this is point B, and if this is point C, the value of point C is very easy. This is 10, 10, the coordinates. What are the coordinates A and B? The coordinates of A and B are also easy to identify. A and B lie on the line x plus y is equal to 16. A lies on y is equal to 10. So the value of the coordinates of A will be 6, 10. And the coordinates of B, because B lies on x is equal to 10, will be 10, 6. Or essentially the length of CB is 4 units. The length of AC is also equal to 4 units. So the area of triangle ABC is equal to half into 4 into 4, which is equal to 8 square units. But we are only looking at the area of this part, which is half of the area of triangle ABC, because this represents the region where x is greater than y. Here x is less than y. So if this triangle over here is D, the area of triangle BCD will be half of 8, which is equal to 4 square units. So the required probability is 4 divided by the area of this square. The area of the square is again very easy, because this is 10 into 10. Each side is 10 units. The overall area is 100 square units, and the required probability is 4 divided by 100, which is 1 divided by 25, which is option D. Let us look at the next question. In this question, we are told that Ramesh distributed 12 balls among 3 people, Radha, Reena and Rinki, such that each one of them received at least 1 ball. Find the probability that no 2 of them received the same number of balls. Let us assume that the number of balls that Radha received is A, the number of balls that Reena received is B, and the number of balls Rinki received is C. So we know that A plus B plus C is equal to 12, and each one of them is greater than 0. That is, each one of them is at least equal to 1. What is the number of solutions for this equation? To do that, we know the solution, or we know the formula for the number of non-negative integral solutions of a given equation. That is, if you are given some parameters, which is say a1 plus a2 plus dot 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 plus ar, if this we are told is equal to n, and each one of them is say greater than or equal to 0. These are non-negative integers. then the number of solutions of this given equation will be n plus r minus 1 c r minus 1. In this case, because all of them is at least equal to 1, each one of them is at least equal to 1, let us substitute each one of them with a new variable. A is equal to a1 plus 1, b is equal to b1 plus 1, and c is equal to c1 plus 1. Here each one of them is greater than or equal to 0, a1, b1 and c1. Now the given equation becomes equal to a1 plus b1 plus c1 plus 3 is equal to 12, or a1 plus b1 plus c1 is equal to 9. And the number of non-negative integral solutions for this we know is 9 plus 2 minus 1, 9 plus 3 minus 1, c3 minus 1, which is equal to 11c2, which is equal to 55. So the total number of ways of distributing 12 balls amongst these 3 people such that each one of them receives at least 1 ball is 55. Out of this, how many of the cases will each one of them receive a distinct number of balls? Let us enumerate all the cases. If you are trying to distribute 12 as a sum of 3 distinct numbers, that will be 1, 2, 9, or 1, 3, 8, or 1, 4, 7, or 1, 5, 6, or it will be 2, 3, 7, 2, 4, 6. Both of them can't be 2, 5, 5 because 5 and 5 will be the same, or it will be 3, 4, and 5. In each of the case, who is receiving 1 ball, who is receiving 2 balls, and who is receiving 9 balls can be identified in 6 ways. Because we have 3 set of distributions we have to give to 3 people. It can be 129, or it can be 192, or it can be 219, or it can be 291. So for example, if you are looking at Radha, Reena and Rinki, in this particular case, this will have 6 separate subcases. It can be Radha receiving 1, Reena receiving 2, and Rinki receiving 9, or it can be 192, or it can be 219, or 291, or 912, or 921. So here we have 6 subcases. For each one of them, we are going to have 6 subcases. So the total number of subcases will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 into 6, which is 42. So the required probability is 42 divided by 55, which will be option D. Let us look at the last question for today. Dinesh Kumar is saying, are these questions in XAT difficulty level, sir? I think these are definitely XAT level difficulty. Like I mentioned earlier, XAT difficulty level in Quant will be slightly more difficult than CAT, which is what we are actually trying to replicate here. Angish is saying, how accurate is the percentile predictor of Krakow? It will be fairly accurate. The scaling I think will be very, very accurate. Even the percentile predictions I think will be definitely on the more accurate side. In this question, there is a biased coin which is tossed 3 times, and the probability of getting 2 heads and 1 tail is the same as the probability of getting 3 heads. Let us assume that in this biased coin, the probability of getting a head is h, and therefore the probability of getting a tail is equal to 1 minus h. So if it is tossed 3 times, the probability of getting 2 heads and 1 tail will be equal to 3 times h square into 1 minus h. Why is this the case? Because it is tossed 3 times. Now which of these 3 times is it going to be a tail can be identified in 3 ways. Suppose that is HHT. The probability that the first toss will be a heads will be H. The probability that the second one will be a head will also be H. The probability that the third one will be a tail will be 1 minus H. This is one case. But the tail can come in the middle also. In that case, it will be another H into 1 minus H into H. Or the tail can come in the first row itself. In that case, it will be 1 minus H into H into H. So the overall probability will be 3 times H square into 1 minus H. This we are told is equal to the probability that we are going to get 3 heads. And the probability of getting all 3 of them to be heads is H cube. If you are solving this equation, you will find out that 3 minus 3h is equal to h, or the value of h is equal to 3 by 4. So if the probability of getting a head is equal to 3 by 4, and if this coin is tossed 4 times, the probability that all of them will be heads will be equal to 3 by 4 to the power 4, which is equal to 81 by 256. So the answer for this question is option C. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let me look at any one question, and after that we'll end the stream. Neil, yeah, I think XAT Quant will be slightly on the more difficult side as compared to CAT.